Okay, all 6 nuts are off. It's a 14 millimeter. I used a 3/8 ratchet, no extension, just the regular socket. Nuts and washers are out. Fan is on there. I'm gonna start wheeling it out now. Oh, not too heavy, not too tight. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna pause to use both hands. Okay, realistic. There it is, off the hub. There's no real clearance on here to work, I'm not sure how you can maneuver this to where it's out of your way and you can get your Allen in these holes. And mine are not aligned. So here's the view from the side. You should be able to get your short end of the Allen if you have the 90s, or if you're using a socket without any extensions, it should be enough. But I think I was clever enough to build up my air, and when I turn on the key to actuate the solenoid, oh, there's all that air leaking. It's gonna work. It's gonna work. Let's see. No, it's not gonna work. Oh, no. Okay. Alright, so that wasn't gonna work. I just thought that if I built up the air and turned the key on, it would release the clutch to where I could spin it. But just in case you thought about a pry bar also, it'll just spin the whole thing with the belt. So you're gonna have to release these little bolts in the back like everyone else has stated, and let's try that. Okay, so yeah, 8 millimeter wrench. I tried using the what's it called, the ratchet, but it's more in the way than it's helpful. This, just put it right up on there. You can see I just made a little gap all the way around. There's warnings about being under pressure. There's supposed to be a spring in the air, whatever. I don't know, just in case. Didn't dry them all the way out. It does feel springy once they come loose, and you can feel the tension as you're loosening these plates. They're like half moon. There's about 3 or 4 of them, probably 4. Yeah, it's 4. 2 screws per plate. So strategically get the ones where you have to be reaching in first. That way, if anything blows out on you or something, your hand's out of the way out here in the clear, and it'll just shoot your wrench out of your hand and not, push your hand up against something. Alright, so the Allen wrench is supposed to be a size 8, which fits pretty good. It fits really snug, which might make it hard to get into the holes if you're doing it, without removing all the stuff on top and not removing the whole base plate where it's mounted to. A T50 torx fits really good, snug enough. If you're not rusted, if you're not over tightened, this will probably help you, especially for leverage purposes and to be able to use a ratchet. I'm gonna try this and see how it goes. As you can see, do not drop the bolts in there. Okay, drop a bolt in there, it's gonna go to the bottom of there. Okay, can't get it to the back, can't get it to the front, because your finger is basically the size of that thing. So how can you see? Like, it'll just keep moving around on you. And what about a magnet? Well, are you that good with the magnet to where you can pick it up on the thin end to be able to pull it out with the radiator in front of your hand? Do not drop the bolts in there. Alright, y'all, the instructions say you can apply air to the fan clutch, but mine came already aligned for the holes for the Allen nuts to match up with the base. it also says to check your bearings on the shaft itself to make sure it's not doesn't have play or anything. You don't want to lose a belt or keep losing belts and stuff. Take off the plastic cover or the plastic coupler. Clean, inspect, take note of the orientation of that, I guess, key, I'm gonna call it. That way it aligns with the shaft when you replace it. And then all your torque specs, 45 foot-pounds on the heck Allen, and then the fan, if you need the adapter, it's 133 foot-pounds. It came with the kit. And then your fan, Torx to 26 foot-pounds. Okay, pause. All right, guys, here's my strategy for not having to take off this pipe or undoing all of the top and the fan shroud and getting it all off the top, draining the coolant. This is where it's really gonna suck, because you're either gonna take this off multiple times, shake these screws out of the fan clutch, or this is gonna work. So I'm gonna start all 6 of them, get them threaded in, not all the way down, so you don't have to work that much to get the thing off again, however many times it takes, which is dumb. But if it works, I guess it ain't stupid. Alright, y'all, I think this is gonna work. So what I'm doing is, once you find your keyway, it'll still give you like some play where you can kind of have separation from the shaft to the clutch. And as you can see, it'll like, you could push the screw through the fan clutch and align it with the pertaining hole on the shaft. Start them all that way you can see what the bolt is doing, because it's tricky, you know, since you have the fan right there just in your way. Give yourself that play as much as possible. I just did the top one. I'm gonna do all the hard ones on the bottom. That way I still have patience for the easy ones. And that's how I'm doing it, man. It's working out so good. I got 4 of them in. Make sure you put plenty of paper or plastic in the head of the Allen. I'm using a T50 for the whole thing. I haven't used the size 8 Allen wrench at all. This is released them all. They all fell inside of the clutch. They came out all inside of there. It's doable. Keeping that distance from the base plate to the fan clutch. That way you can see what your threads and your bolts are doing. Make sure they're coming in straight. Make sure they're not going to get cross-threaded. Haven't taken anything apart. It's still all there. I have my little 4x4 to climb up, get a little bit higher than this radiator bracket if I need to, and sit on the bumper right there. Sit there, have a good height, good level, and just patience, going slow. You do not want to lose a screw in there and have to take it all apart. That's why I'm just kind of starting them off. As you can see, so far so good. It's working out. I think it's gonna work. Once they're all started, then I'll wiggle the fan clutch all the way down to the base and start bringing them all the way home. And that's all I'm doing. I tear off a little piece of the plastic where these bolts came in, put it in there double or triple folded so it's nice and thick, force the T50 in there, and it'll hold it. Like it won't come off. It's on there. That plastic is just gonna get brittle, and I don't know, hopefully it doesn't affect nothing. So I guess we'll find out. Right, so now I'm on the driver's side. See the bolt come through. Find yourself the hole right there, gently, and then you start spinning it into place. Make sure it's not getting cross-threaded, that it's grabbing, and then just send it home. All right, y'all, the fan clutch is gonna spin the whole base plate even with the belt on. So put this pry bar on the thread up there. It's only 55 foot-pounds, so it wasn't too hard to break them loose, so I'm just kind of snug them up, but just to make sure that I got them pretty tight since it's spinning on the belt. Alright, we're on. I was able to do this job without removing anything. I didn't drain the coolant, nothing. I didn't take off this for access, nothing was taken apart. It was all done. Just strategizing, thinking ahead, patience. And all I did, all I used to do this job was 3/8 ratchet, 14 millimeter. I used the T50 for the bolts, and I used this reducer just as an extension, because when you want to drive the bolts out of there, the socket's kind of in there and these bolts won't let you spin, so this is just about the right size. You should be able to do it with the shorter extension on the 3/8. I don't know, it might kind of be annoying because of the fan. The fan's gonna be like a few inches from your hand, so this worked out pretty good to, you know, spin them out. And then to start them, of course, just the plastic that the hardware comes in, just rip off a chunk, stick it in the head in there, then stick the T50 on the back, make sure it's snug, and that's how it worked out for me. I left the play on the fan clutch so that I can see what the bolts were doing going into the shaft, and that helped tremendously because you're not guessing, finding the whole threads, if the screws straight, whatever. That's my tip. Alright, if you're working on your M8 and you hit something, mess up your oil cooler, you gotta replace it. Ouch! That bolt right there behind the hose to release the radiator is behind this metal mold. So anything you put in there, it's gonna go in at an angle. Okay? And that thing will strip out so quick. I bought this kit for my lawnmowers and my ATVs. I think it's gonna save my ass today. I'm gonna put the bit in there, and it looks like I have enough space for that setup. I'll let you know. Yeah, so that's gonna be the way. It's gonna be the T25. Put it right in there. Well, prior radiator oil coolant hose out of the way, like so. And you stick that. Okay. Yeah, so that's the process. Loosen the left side first. Get all your hoses undone, because the hose on this side runs on the right, runs right into the bottom of the engine somewhere. And then ratchet on the front side of the bike. Once you get that cleared up, and you will need that thing, you're gonna strip out that bolt if you don't use that.